Cold Beans Challenge, episode 19. Yeah, so I've got a microphone now, so it's actually sort of something you can watch at volume that reproduces a way to hear it more commonly, even though the other one's quite good, really, to be honest. You're not going to hear it that frank anywhere else. As anyone who's got an internet connection. Only is, can you get to them? But at least they're cast out there to say this stuff can be public, universal, for everything to hear. In sort of closer to superseded form. Well, I guess because if someone hasn't watched with audio yet that they can hear the way they can, I should explain what Cold Beans Challenge even is. Right, so it's about respect for moving into a world where we don't eat animals, we don't use animals for their dairy or anything else, being vital for us and them to progress into a better natured, longer living space. So what I'm doing is, I've been vegetarian for a few years now. I'm forcing myself into a vegan stage, and I'm eating cold beans every day for as long as I am, and being as honest about everything I know to you as I can, to promote sincere expression in everyone, so we can both internally talk to ourselves and externally speak to others with something pure to offer. One other factor which I can't do yet is I'm not heating them up. If you heat up anything, it loses memory of itself. Okay, that's just a fact. But you know, I've just come off alcohol and drugs a bit. I haven't got a job. I'm not someone, even as God, by the way, that has much inclusion in everything, because there's no space left. Hence why I'm having to do it like this, because every other way of doing it would still require too much of me. And this isn't a universal justification, this is God. Would require too much of me doing it the way other people are doing it, for the pound or for the presents. Yeah. Right, let's hope this episode is actually something you can hear then. So what I want really is other people to start making their Cold Beans Challenge videos. Start relating themselves onto the internet. You know, I think the key to vegetarianism is, can I do that? Is the pressure, because some people can and some people can't. You know, some people have been eating meat for ages. They may pay taxes all the time, so it's not like an unethical thing to be. It's just as a previous alpha male or whatever, I'll do it a different way in this incarnation. If I stop eating animals, then I know other ones will be able to start eating animals. One thing that's great about actually being vegan is I've lost fat. I was a bit fat because I ate so much pizza. So that's something all males want, is to lose their body fat. It doesn't make your body look better. It just doesn't. So yeah, sorry, what I was saying is, if other people could, like, you don't have to really follow the formula of cold beans, but it's just making yourself your real self to everything you can, makes it easy for other people to platform their real self off you. a few. Yeah. One thing that the modern world suffers with is a trend of how things are felt and seen. It's governed by who speaks the loudest about it. And unfortunately, who speaks the loudest about it to be universally acclaimed, in my opinion, because of entertainment and stuff, is not the right person to do it. And I'm having a bit of a battle at the moment with someone who isn't evil or anything. They haven't done anything wrong themselves, but it's sort of Jeremy Corbyn, Banksy, Ricky Gervais, a personal friend of mine called Martin Healer, all made of the same man who isn't bad or anything, but he does things in his lifestyle that are never a good match up with yours, to not start doing them as well and be a bit of a nuisance to all of Earth. Because when you think about food, you think about drugs instead of food too much. And then, because they're pushing the pedal down ahead of everyone, they start writing up about everyone badly because they don't have the same connection with them anymore. And if, in all honesty, it starts self-projecting a bit about what's wrong about everybody else, because they don't accept what they do is wrong because it feels so good and it is what their sequential life currently means in a compressed existence. But so what we're going to do, is we're not going to keep saying we like those people just because they let us off quite a lot of important things by laughing about it or making jokes quicker than our feelings and senses can resist it, you know. And I'm not saying the other ones because the other ones are quite hard or whatever. You couldn't really talk to them without them sort of suggesting violence or putting fear in you as soon as they sense that you're not sure about what you mean to that process. So the point is, we're just not. We're going to start expressing how important things are ourselves. So then our Jeremy Corbyn has to follow us instead of us follow him, because it's not a job he can do. I know it isn't. He can't defend himself and he can't defend us, but at the moment he is sort of the pinnacle of what's happened in politics recently that, socially gets sort of complimented. But life isn't a party. There's still plenty of things so corrupt about the world in existence, because we've only just managed to combat some of it since I can be a form surface back on Earth and push your nature forward to also be better with mine. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is, and it's completely fair to do it. You don't have to feel bad. It's not like Jesus on the cross or whatever. Joan of Arc, Mother Teresa. It's not like that. Those people still don't derive a common comfort from any of that stimulus, really. That isn't a bit like, okay, just mention black people more than white people do, and that's what we've got to do. And then all we've got to do is come down a bit. I'm coming down. It's not going to be as bad as that, because by the time they're coming down, everybody will be, more available to speak, because we can't do things on drugs. Because on a drug, you are high, aren't you? But to get the drug, you'll probably be making money in an alternative way, and you have to speak about the process all the time. If you're a drug dealer or if you're a homeless person, you have to be begging all of the time. So you just become so unavailable to everybody else. And you begin not to be able to care about them, because you don't even really contact them unless you're trying to sell them a drug or get spare change off them. So, we might say, Ricky Gervais is a comedian, but his life is still like that. It's just that he happens to be old to all of existence, so he can always use, the police force, he can use the, organised crime, the best ones of all of them. He can always use some of politics, music. So it isn't even like they've had to suffer poverty to do their thing. So they're not evil, they're not bad, they just don't have inspiration for normal things, you know, that the mass of the world has to do for the world to even be the planet it is, to be as compatible with life as it is. And that's what I want you to join me to do. Ugh. Right, it's a cold beans challenge, isn't it? So I haven't really, usually without the mic I can eat the beans quite quickly and then run out of things to say, but yeah. You just have to trust me eat the rest of the beans, because if the video time goes up too much, it might not make someone feel as comfortable as watching it if they haven't watched it before. But that's still antibiotics. God doesn't like antibiotics. It's like saying, do you like the job done or not? But I am the least antibiotical thing in existence, and if I do it, I just do it, and then I try and stop doing it. Because if the antibiotics don't have a relationship with the cure, the raw cure, then they're not antibiotics, they're just poison, as any of the poison is. We'll get to the poison bit later, and where it comes from, because it's not us.